And it's Friday, the 21st of September, 2018. Thank you very much for being here. There's the bell. Let's give it a few minutes to settle down. NASDAQ is racing to the downside along with the Russell, the S&P, and the Dow not necessarily racing to the downside. Okay, the Russell got to 1726.4, doing a bit of a bounce. I'll look and see if it's going to go through that.
Order pending.
See if 76.1 will break. Looks like everybody's going higher. We're only looking at less than a minute into the market. And we're going to be taken in maybe. Looks like it's trying to hold there. The pink line's actually right pretty close to us, so to get to my first target, I'll need 1725. Get a short signal in the NASDAQ as well. Don't like that one nearly as much. Dow, see we get here to this level. See if we could get a bounce in a 1, 2, 3 move. The bulls aren't going to, the bulls aren't going to give up so easily on the Russell. Here we go.
Order filled.
Not looking so good on this one. See if it can. Gotta wait for the completion of this candle. We're reacting to that level of 172, 25 and a half, really. Need for it to go red on this candle, otherwise, and with that it'll be a continuation of the downside. But we've just got a cross of the I don't know, trend line, but it's not looking good.
Order filled.
All right, out minus 15 ticks times 2. All right, not an auspicious start. Still on chop. I didn't really make it below. Well, yeah, I did break below 26.3, and there it goes lower. It would go up there and take me out first. Dow's coming up on support levels. Russell's in chop. I'm going to ignore that cross. It doesn't have any thing to it. There's a buy signal in the NASDAQ. And it went right back into chop. Trading range 76.30 to 15-ish. All right, that it gave a buy signal in the Russell with some numbers. It just tells me that the trend is changed from a downtrend to an uptrend. Nothing more than that. Nothing extraordinary.
Order pending.
I put a buy stop in on the NASDAQ up here. If it goes up, it's Pablo, be nice. And me again, if you're here for the first time, welcome and thank you for joining us. We're still kind of in chop here in the Dow, Russell, and the NASDAQ.
Order pending.
And I put a buy in. We've got a continuation pattern forming here. We get a breakout. We should continue up to 31.
Order filled.
All right.
Order filled.
I don't necessarily like being in two trades at the same time. The last time I lost my shirt, I went over there to cancel it, but it wasn't fast enough. Maybe I can have both of them go up and get some money, huh? Russell's looking okay. So's the NASDAQ. Damn. All right. NASDAQ's pulled back a little harder than I would have liked. I wanted to get back up there to 32. I was about ready to take off one contract at 10. Russell's okay. I'm looking to take one off around 10.
Order filled.
Oh, shoot. I hit close instead of buy. Darn it. I was only going to take off one. I've taken off both. All right, let's concentrate on this NASDAQ then. Meant to hit sell market and hit close instead. Yeah. I was trying to do that. But once I'm in the trade, I'm in the trade. And need to get up there and get to target 1 for me.
Target filled.
All right, target 1. Gonna go to break even plus, and it's probably going to come back and take me out, but that's okay.
Stop filled.
All right, stopped out after all of that mess. We're a little bit better than break even for the day. You know, $50. BJ, what does 45 mean? Is that your number? Ah, okay, right, exit. Gotcha, I see now. I still think you're scalping. I'm not a big fan of and proponent of scalping. We're too close to being in there with the black boxes, and we're not equipped to compete with them. All right, Dow is a sell signal. A little bit extended for me. Russell's given a short signal, but I don't believe it with the with where we are in the overall cycle. That's absolutely true, though. And me again. I just posted up my chart settings. That should help you by explaining some of the stuff that you're seeing here. Russell over 31.2 right now. $31. The only problem with the Russell is the R squeeze is a little extended, and we're coming right back down. The peach lines are not in there. Me again. Those are basically my ideas, trying to remind me where the swing levels are. My signal in the Art Russell. The momentum oscillator is good. The R squeeze is a little extended. Yeah, you have to be a little bit too precise, in my opinion. RJ, if you're scalping. I've not been successful at it. That's okay. You are picking on one of the stronger indexes out there, though. That's good. I wouldn't be interested in anything below 81 or a long in the Dow.
Order pending.
No.
Order canceled.
Don't like the R squeeze in Russell. Dow's coming back up. S&P's coming back towards the high of the day. Nasdaq's backing off. We've got intermediate levels down here below on the Nasdaq. I don't like those. I like to see wide open spaces. Applesauce. All right, let's go to a 10 here on the, yeah. Nothing to see here. Maybe the, nah, not the NASDAQ. Poked his head below 23, but it's got a lot of support at 18 to 16, somewhere in that area. A lot of congestion. Well, me again, I don't know about others. Yes, I do agree that there are a lot of bad actors out there. You know that I'm trading live money because you can see my accounts there. Unfortunately, I think there's a problem with my video card or something that you're not seeing the far right hand side. But what I will do is I will show you two things. Okay, no problem. Yeah, and sorry, I didn't recognize the login. And I think I could sniff out a fake most of the time. All right, the Nasdaq just broke under 14. While we were talking about that, let's get a bounce back up. If I miss it, I miss it. I'm not chasing it. The system came up with a long here, but we were well below it. Sorry, a short, we were well below it. I probably couldn't take anything below, above, till it broke 14, and then it didn't follow through. Actually, I think everybody's saying the same thing there, VJ and at me. All right, did a zigzag here. And the NASDAQ, still think 7603 is about the best you're going to get on the downside. Dow's trying to bottom. Still want it to get above 781. Got a lot of room above that. Russell's back in chop. NASDAQ basically there as well. And the Dow's been there a while. So's the S&P been there a while. They're going to play both sides up and down this morning to try to shake away some of those weekends that are in options that are very close to their strike price. And they've also got options that they're trying to roll out, have been for the last few days, which is why we've been moving up and down. So making any money in the last couple of days has been amazing. Looks like the NASDAQ trying to roll over a bit. Russell the same. 27.6.
Order pending.
Cancel that short in the Russell.
Order canceled.
The Dow's coming back to a possible short area. Don't know how much is in it. Russell coming right back down. Coming up on 10 o'clock reversal period time.
Order pending.
Darn it, too slow. Maybe it's a good thing. That blue line's where I had my stop, buy sell stop. Let's see if it works or not. Nasdaq's trying to do a big dreaded H. I don't see enough lower to entice me. Yes, David, the problem is that was a news event that really didn't have a direct bottom line effect. Those are Momo stocks with just a story, kind of like the internet stocks of the day. Well, Dow shorts 10 now, 13. We had a NASDAQ short right at double bottom territory, do not like. Come back into chop on the S&P. Dow's bouncing. Russell bounced away from that entry there. I got saved from myself. Now if we come down to 76.08 and break, I don't see it happening in the NASDAQ, but it could. PMI was out at 945. That didn't seem to have much of an effect. Big time chop. Remember what I said on the telephone, Pablo? That even if you didn't get in, you're probably not going to miss much today. So far, that's the case. Which chart are you talking about, Yuri? I'm using Unirenko charts. They're basically Renko charts with wicks. They help me visualize the trend a lot better. They eliminate a lot of the noise that's out there in regular charts. Let me post something out for you. Might help about that. can't find it. Hold on. I'll get it. No, it's not 1 minute. It's called a Rinko chart, Unirinko. It is totally different from, uh, it's not based on time. It's based upon the price movement. That's the way I trade. So I chart it that way. Let me open this up real quick. Yeah, go open up that link that I posted. Here's page 3. It talks about time versus range charts, the advantages of each. Then 4. Then 5 tells you what I've got going on. Then I talk about the patterns and more about the patterns. So give that a look. And if you have any questions after reading that, well, yeah. And that link in the room. If it won't pop up, let me know. I need to step aside 1 second. I need to get an allergy tablet. Hi, Muffins. Stay there. And like I said, Yuri, if you have any questions, just give me a shout. This could be a wonderful day to go over that stuff. Yes, I am. I'm using NinjaTrader 8. For anyone, for members, full paying members, I'm more than happy to share my setups. I can talk to you about the setups that are in those charts. Sorry, the books, my chart setups. And for those who are not using NinjaTrader and that are members, I can work with them to get the setups. Most of them are going to be available. They're not really exotic setups. Russell's about to do a little mini breakout, but I don't like the reward to risk. Although it could work. From right here around 1729.7. That blue line is where my buy signal was. The counterpunch trader system gave a buy signal right here down at 29.1. I said I got to get over the clump before I did that. It could still flip right back into chopped at the moment. And I think you were asking about the moving average crossings. What I do if I see moving averages crisscrossing each other, that tells me I do not trade. Basically a no trade zone. It's neither positive nor negative. And that little mini breakout failed. And that's what happens here when we get very early entries before we get a trend established. So that's why I like the trend, and it's described in the ebook. Hey, Alan, how's it going? We're just kind of chopping away here. No, didn't make 720, did it, Alan? The only other problem I've got with that, no, I don't really have a problem with that. That looks okay. I thought there was something below it, a swing level, but wasn't. Still in chop in the S&P, still in chop in the NASDAQ. Kind of at a low in the Russell, but it bounced. And yeah, same thing, the low it bounced in the Dow. Still nothing to do. Dow and Russell are pretty much pushing the lows. NASDAQ going back down to the lows. Don't think I see a trade though. S&P and chop. Russell's a little bit below chop, and so is the Dow. Let's see that short there. Well, if it breaks this 2940, where are we at? We got to 38. Yeah, if we could break this congestion here, 2939 half to 2937 half, those are good targets. Thanks for the post. Appreciate it. Always great to see what others are looking at. Russell gave a short signal. It's oversold, and it could work. Did old dreaded H. We've got a bunch of congestion over here on the left from 1725 to 1723 half. So we'll see how it works through that. All right, target one in Russell. Target one in the NASDAQ. Coming up on a break, 2941 in the S&P possibly. And the Dow's really not going very far. And we got behind in the NASDAQ again. Gee. Hey, well done there, me again. No, I don't think it was lucky. I think you did a good job of marking out the spots. Tough day to trade, though. Tough day to trade. And continuation pattern in the NASDAQ lower. '83. Looks like it's kind of stalling. We're out right here around 86.75, but we'll see if it goes higher. Dow's bouncing as if it's going to do a double bottom. Russell's doing a bounce off the primary pivot. We'll see. One candle a reversal does not make. NASDAQ looks like it wants to go lower. That was just a pause that refreshes. Thanks, Pablo. Let's see if we get through 85 on NASDAQ. We did. Primary pivot is a little bit lower. Right at 81. You got your 83, RJ. And then some. Good job. 1030. They're just playing games out there. S&P broke through the support level. Next level could be as low as 2937. Yeah, it may be reacting to primary pivot. Boy, it's so clear what the trade was in the NASDAQ after the fact, isn't it? This breakdown below this level here around 7606. We got down to 7600 and we had a little bit of a bounce at that round number. And then went full target 3. Russell's attempting to do a continuation pattern. Whoops. And there she goes. Or it's a fake out. See if Russell gets a 22-1. Well, your NASDAQ still going, RJ. All right, Yuri. Think I put those out in the ebook. If I didn't, what I'm using is a 9 volume weighted moving average simple using a 20 SMA and so what you're seeing here with the this line, it changes colors from green if it's going up to red if it's going down. That's the 20 simple. The 9 volume weighted moving average. If you don't have volume weighted average, you could use either a 9 or an 11 exponential. You can play with it, see which one you like the best. Any other questions on the chart setup? Just go ahead and ask. We did get our bounce off primary pivot. Me again, up and down. Well, 81 half, 81, yeah, somewhere in 81 somethings. Well, sideways could be overall, but during the market day, we won't go really sideways. We'll do in a trading range. I guess I'm being Captain Obvious there. Shooting myself in the foot for missing that 76.0 break of 76.04. That would have made the day. Ninja Trader 7. Jose, welcome. Appreciate it. I'm not sure if Yodorinko is available for Ninja Trader 7. I had looked. I wasn't able to find any. You could probably use some of the stuff off of Futures.io. But the reversal in the queue, yeah. Okay, the Yodorinko settings are pretty much dependent upon the market that we're in. I know that's kind of a wishy-washy. I normally use, okay, for the NASDAQ, the primary is the 8 Yodorinko. Now, depending upon whether you have multiple settings or not, all of them are 2 tick offsets. So add 2 tick offset to anything that I type here. I'll use a tick 8 reverse 14. That's the primary. And the secondaries will be a tick 6 reverse 10. I think, hold on. Yep. And the other is a T10R 14. That T8 could be a 12 possibly, but the reversals don't matter so much. And each market is, I found, has its own rhythm. So you're going to have the rhythm, and 8's the primary because it's kind of the halfway between the 6 and the 10, and he does a pretty darn good job lately. And I used to use the 6 until we got higher volatility, then I had to go to the 10, and then I had to back off to the 8 as we get less volatility. So I'll go back and forth from those, and I will look at usually 2 of them during the day. Now let's look at the Dow. And I normally just use the 6, 10, but at times I can use the 8, 14. But mostly the 610 works. Russell, 99% of the time, T6, R10. And I really haven't, I'm not going to cover nighttime settings, but nighttime settings will be probably one notch faster. So each of those ticks will be down 2. So the NASDAQ at nights, all right, thanks. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Dow's back into chop. S&P's trying to, and so's the NASDAQ. Russell's still holding down the lows. I don't see it probably staying down there, though. You're welcome, Jose. And thanks for joining us. Let's see if got that measured move on the NASDAQ. We probably did. All righty then. We did the move down lower on a break of the swing level. Did a continuation move and then a move lower. The moves that I'm looking for, the patterns, are also in that ebook. If you need that ebook link, let me post it again. Well, there we go. It's not a large ebook, but it's the basics, and it's a it points out really, really profitable trade setups and patterns. And they happen over and over and over again. Not all of them work, but a very high percentage of them work enough to make us quite profitable. The Nasdaq's kind of flattened off. Let me get this out of the way so we can look at the rest of the markets. Get a bit of a rally in the Dow. Not so much in the S&P, nor in the Nasdaq, or the Russell. Wow, look at the Russell go down. 1720 and lower. This is as far extended to the downside as I've seen the Russell on the momentum oscillator as far as I can remember. A little over 2. And if we did an extension here, let me do it offline. Yep, did another expansion in the Russell. I thought it looked that way. Measured move. That measured move is not in that ebook, but it will probably be in the next revision. Take a snapshot of this puppy. Nothing to see here approaching 1050. I'll be right back. Boy, howdy. out in a minute, and then I'll play with you guys, okay? Sit down. Go sit down. Play with the boys and girls. Looks like the Russell's tacking the low of the day again. The pros will probably try to step up and make it a double bottom, or see if it is, so we should get a reaction. Below 18.3, it could go a little lower. It's going to be way extended, but anything is possible. NASDAQ cannot get rally off the bottom. It's in a tiny, tight trading range from about 75.94 to about 75.81. 13 points. Well, Russell went lower. We get a lot of follow through or not. It has been the weakest index over a while. I'd really be surprised if we get much lower on this thrust without a bounce first, but what do I know? Oh, I forgot to check oil. Yes, Yuri. I was actually going to go over all that in a minute. I have a YouTube page. I post the recording of every morning, every session that we have, and let me find it and post it up here. And I would suggest subscribing there so that you get notification every time the new video is posted. It is the entire morning session. So sometimes there's about 2 hours long. And you'll find everything in every discussion that's out there. Actually, no. It's public view. Because, in fact, I don't believe that it does a whole lot of good for people not to be in the room. So it's not, right now it's public. However, the other thing that's out there, let me point these out. On the home, you get the videos, and you'll see all the videos, and that's all I ever do. You'll see each of the morning sessions. You'll see, I'll call them unusual trades. So out of the morning session, I'll cut up. In this case, it was a 5-minute segment of the 1 hour and 10-minute on the 19th. Is where we had a NASDAQ short that was pretty good. I did a look ahead at the week for hit and run candlesticks on the 16th on a Sunday. They are at in this room, no password required, every week at Sunday at about 8 o'clock. You can sign up and be notified of those. See, there's another short. There is a presentation that I think you might be interested in. It's an hour and 15 minutes long. It's one I gave to the Denver Trading Group that talks about why you should be interested in being a member of the group and the member of the room here full time. There's one here that I think is really important on post-trade analysis to help. And I think that 12-minute video is well worth watching because we probably learn more in the debriefing of and the post-trade analysis of our trades than anything else. Let's go back and see what else we got there. And that's pretty much it. You can kind of poke around a little bit in there under the videos. Now I have playlists. I really have 3 videos that I've linked to. One is on the squeeze by John Carter. Yeah, he's going to try to sell you his squeeze indicator. You don't probably need it, but it basically explains you how I use my squeeze, the R squeeze at the bottom of my charts. It's basically this one here at the bottom. And anyway, go ahead and subscribe. I think you'll like it. It's not for members only. Not at the moment, anyway. It's for everyone. Russell so far hasn't continued lower. Dow bounce. S&P near the lows of the day. Bounce in the NASDAQ. All right. I'm going to go over a couple of things here that are not exactly trading related, but what I want you to know is how to navigate around in the website. Hit and run candlesticks. Homepage. From the homepage, you've got a member login. To get to the trading room, you do not need to log in every day. All you really need to do is go to Hit and Run Candlesticks, trading room login, go down to room 3 and click, and then follow along. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say, as an attendee, put your, thank you, Dave, put your email in there. We don't do anything with it except check it to make sure you're a registered member. Put in your password. Before you do that, before you put your password in, check to make sure that you do not have this box checked. I'm the persuasion that opening in one window limits your capability to be able to resize it and effectively use the room. Make sure that's disconnected, and then you can open up in 2 windows. One other thing you need to do. You need to make sure that Flash players on your system, obviously it probably is, otherwise you wouldn't be here right now, but that it's enabled for Webinato, and that pop-ups are enabled for Webinato. You put it as an exception. If you don't know how to do that, just Google it, and there you'll find it based upon your, let's say you use Chrome. Just say, how do I disable pop-up or enable pop-ups in Chrome browser? And it'll give it to you. Give you all the steps. Okay, let's go ahead and do a member login. And when I do the login, it'll tell me I'm a member of all 4 of these. You may only see 1 or 2. So let's go over to the member page of Top Gun Futures. It said, sorry, now found. Oh dear, I think they've... they've screwed the pooch. Let me copy it. Send it off to the webmeister. All right, we'll be able to get to that. All right, one thing I wanted to show was the performance updated daily. If you poke on that, TGF performance is in both the members and the non-members section, and it shows you all the trades and the profitability from the beginning. Started with $8,000 and now up almost $11,000 profit, $10,830. 135% since the 1st of June. If you click on each of these sections and you look at the upper left-hand corner, it'll show you the trades that were made that day. Plus 135, plus 10, and plus 240. If you look at this one, it's only one, so it's 400. It was only one there, was 130. And on this one, on 450, it was plus 95, 85, 230, and 40. So it'll give you an idea of how many trades there were to get to that value. Really, probably what's most important is that you see that we're human. We've had a couple of losing weeks. We've had no losing months. And we're pretty steady. We've had no drawdown on the monthlies, where August was really, really bad for us. A couple of bad days, almost $600 in 2 days there, each. But we're pretty much back on track now. All right. Try to take high probability trades. Let me see if we can get that. I'll talk to the webmaster and see if he can get that page fixed. We are bouncing in a Russell. We're looking at 11:15, folks, and the Dow looks like it might be wanting to try to go higher. Boy, but this is a grind. The buy was at 752. Looks like 18 ticks there. Let's see if I can get that high. NASDAQ in rally mode. If it can continue, the NASDAQ's got to 7605. Target one's at 598. Looks like it's run out of steam, at least for the moment. And NASDAQ. Dow target one. That blue line. Just about getting there now. Backing off. And now momentum indicator and R squeeze are both okay. Could we go back up and retest 68? Dow's backing off. And the Nasdaq's just kind of hovering, and maybe grinding higher. All right, 11:22, about 11:30. I'm going to call it a day in a week. NASDAQ still going up towards that 76.05. I'll stick around because I'm interested to see if it's going to make it. It got pretty close. 0450. All right, folks. I'm going to call it a week. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. All right. Thanks, Pablo. You're welcome. Voces Los. Oh, you're talking on what, a monthly basis? Yep. The second one. So what's your conclusion, Pablo? Yeah, yes. But is it parabolic? Ready for a fall? Probably ready for a pullback at some point. Yep, most likely. Well, let me set this to area chart. I'm long Raytheon from just about $62 back in 2012, 6 years. Up. Annualized 23%. I'm in Disney. Also the same time, right here, 43.37. (13.5% a year). I've had Walmart for a while. I've had it off the charts here to 07, 08. It hasn't been totally without angst. I bought and sold Costco a couple of times, so I'm currently flat. Missed the last big run up. From about 225 I missed, so last $10. So there are a lot of them, I mean, that I should have been in. Boeing, that's the last year and a half, 2 years. Apple hasn't been half bad. If you could buy and hold and ignore the noise. VMware was a big one over here, and then it caught fire again in 16. What else? UTX worked for Raytheon and United Technologies. So anyway, picking out the breakouts, say right here, United Technologies have broke out to 145. The daily chart. Up 561, about 4%. Annualized 615%. All right, I'm going to call it a day and a week. I want to thank everybody for being here. I will render and post the AM video as soon as it gets rendered. And I want to thank everybody for being here. And if you have questions, always feel free to ask. gmail.com. You can send any there, and I could answer directly for you, or we can answer in the room when time permits. All right, take care, folks. Have a great weekend. See you on Monday. Ta.